Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
Good evening, everyone, and it's time for the UPSL Georgia Premier Division match of the week doubleheader. Kalonji Profile versus Dalton United FC, and it's next on ASMG TV. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to ASMG TV's coverage of the doubleheader between Kalonji Profile and Dalton United FC. Larry Weaver here alongside John Reno. John will be in just a few moments here at Shiloh Stadium, Charlie Jordan Field, Snellville, Georgia, and we have a fantastic barn burner for you here in just a few minutes. Let's talk about where we stand so far in this weekend's campaign. FC Atlanta and Potros FC drawing 1-1. Atlanta United over top of North Georgia 6-1. SSL falling to FC Birmingham. That's actually backwards. It's actually 4-2 that FC Birmingham won over SSL. There we go. Currently, right now, it's 3-2 UMA over Legends FC over at Montgomery, Alabama. Our matchup is Kalonji Profile and Dalton United. And Georgia Revolution and Atlanta City FC just kicked off at Warhawk Stadium. So that is where we're at for this week. Last week, Kalonji Profile, they had the week off. SSL losing to FC Atlanta 4-3. You see the rest of the results so far. We came into today's match where the leaderboard had Dalton United at the head of the table, back to where they're used to being. Kalonji Profile farther down the table than they'd like to be. They'd like to be in those 7 spots for the playoffs. Atlanta United was not where they're used to being. They were all the way down at the bottom of the table as they suffered a 3-point deduction for the forfeit over Legends FC. You see, that's where it was before we started today. It's already had some massive changes with the results so far. It is an absolute perfect day, 73 degrees. Winds are about 13 miles, though they have died down here in the last half an hour, so that should be not a factor. Take the time to thank our sponsors for today's matchup. Ballistic Sportswear. If you're looking for a new kit for your team, look no farther than Ballistic Sportswear. They can get regular game day kits, warm-ups, hoodies, all the pieces that you need for your team. Contact Ballistic Sportswear. Also thank Non-Pro Soccer. our partner that gives all the stats, all the information for you to view. Go to nonprosoccer.com, not only in the semi-pros, but also in the professional market, and also images frozen in time. If you're looking for any photography needs, whether it is an event, a wedding, your sports interest, images frozen in time is the place to go. This time I'll bring in John, who's going to cover all the matches. And John, we had a fun one for the first match. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this second match, because these two teams are two massive players here in the Georgia division.
Yes, indeed, Larry, and thank you for the introduction there. Looking forward to this one all week. Two powerhouse teams in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division. Of course, Dalton United FC in first place, and Kalonji Pro Profile, always a powerhouse in the UPSL Georgia Division. They are at a position right now where they're really not accustomed to, kind of a little down on the table, but they do have a match in hand. They've only played 3 matches so far. We're in week 5, but it should be a great one tonight. And the first one was a fun one as well. FC Birmingham prevailing 4-2 over SSL FC. Birmingham picking up their first win of the season, and a disappointing, bitter loss for SSL as they missed not 1 but 2 penalties and fall 4-2. And they were, surprisingly enough, they were in that match late, but and it was at 3-2, and they had the momentum, and then FC Birmingham was able to score 1 late and put it away and earn their first victory. This match a little late getting started here. There's a bit of a jersey mix-up, so we have all new numbers for Pro Profile tonight. Says both teams ended up with white, so we had to make an adjustment. So, and all surprisingly, Pro Profile will be wearing SSL's jerseys for this evening. So we got that all worked out, and now we're just waiting for the two teams to complete warm-ups.
Yeah, because theoretically, each team has you have a 15-minute cushion before kickoff, so it's going to be okay in the long run. But that's a mistake. Hey, this is what happens at lower level. But definitely in that first match, Bustamante with those 3 goals in the first half. I had a conversation with him before the match. He sounded very confident, and he definitely put it forward.
Yeah, I mean, outstanding play by Bustamante today. Man of the match for sure. Gets his hat trick, 3 goals, all off headers, off corner placements, and just a wonderful job by Bustamante today. We said that FC Birmingham will be looking at him to give the team a lift, and boy, he sure did today, coming through for him big time, putting a 3 spot on the board in the first half, and of course Birmingham hold on and prevail 4-2 in that one. So Bustamante running in for player of the week as well. So congratulations to FC Birmingham.
Those 3 goals shoot him up to top 5 of Golden Boot. And we'll see what the results are on that Atlanta United match with 6 goals. We'll see who it was that got those goals. So we'll see.
And Atlanta United getting a little bit of revenge from that forfeit that they had to suffer, winning big today. As Larry said, putting up 6 goals today. So we'll keep our eye on the Golden Boot race. And be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Atlanta Soccer Media Group TV.
This gives us a little bit more time to look at the lineups for tonight's matchup, John. If we go ahead and take a look at Dalton United's lineup, pretty much names that we were accompanied to see. Really good result from Van de Essens in the match against Atlanta City a couple weeks back. Mason Dalton, he's really made a name for himself, even though, yes, Dalton is playing for Dalton, so it gets confusing sometimes. But definitely a little bit of change in the back defensively. No Villalobos and a few other players. But also keep an eye on number 11, Huatanda. He has always been a really positive player going forward for Dalton United.
Yes, indeed. And on the other side with Pro Profile, if you look at their starting lineup, you see a lot of familiar faces there, some old veterans that you all know and love. You got Grant Carr and Kamani Irving, the captain Dafma, Tona Tiente, Samuel Camden, and the big man Anthony Sumo, former Golden Boot winner. And a notable absentee on this list is Mr. Patrick Okwanko.
Yes, one big change is no more number 14, Patrick Okwanko, being replaced by number 26, Antoine Ferez. That being the fact that Patrick Okwanko was just signed for Georgia FC in NISA, so he's not available to play for Kalonji Pro Profile. Only other change in the lineup, number 32, Jeremiah Luomo, coming on in defense. We'll see how that changes in the defense for Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yes, indeed. And Patrick Okwanko, you mentioned that Georgia FC and the NISA had their first match yesterday, and Mr. Okwanko picked up the goal for his team.
And ASMG is the broadcast partner for Georgia FC and NISA. Their head coach is Joao Garcia, that we know well here in the UPSL, was Jinga Atlanta, was the 2020 national champions, became Atletico Atlanta. He went on to other pastures up in the Boston area, had some titles up there, is now back down here in the professional ranks. So we will be able to cover those matches. They had an opportunity to win, ended up in a draw. It's a good way to start their season. We'll see how it goes as we cover them over on NISA Plus. But that's what we do here at ASMG, is we're all over the map covering soccer from all vantage points. And we still come back to one of our favorite leagues to cover, and that is the UPSL.
Oh, certainly. UPSL and the Georgia Premier Division's always been a very exciting competitive division. This year's no exception. And there always seems to be some surprises every year as well. And this season's been no exception so far. I know it's early, but a lot of good soccer to look forward to as the spring season progresses.
Just bringing up the conversation that's going on right now between the coaches and the referee staff to see where we're at in this match, when we're going to get this underway, if we are going to get this underway. You can see that the coaching staff for Kalonji Pro Profile verifying some pieces.
Probably maybe confirming the changes in the jersey numbers with the referees, I would surmise.
Yeah, that's more than likely that's what it is, because I think what they did, you're dead on. I think what they did was they grabbed the jerseys that were being utilized by the SSL, because SSL and Kalonji Pro Profile are basically connected. SSL is basically their old academy U21s.
No, I know that there are rules in place there. Is there maybe some sort of violation perhaps going on here?
Definitely,
some sort of penalty that Kalonji might face?
Kalonji Pro Profile is definitely probably going to face fines for this, because they sent out the travel sheet to Dalton United stating that they were going to be wearing black kits. One of the things that also remember is on your kits, it's required that you have the UPSL logo on the left sleeve, and that everyone has the same kit. And it's, one of the things I can definitely see from here is that you don't have the UPSL logo on the sleeve. But what happens every single week is after the match there is a report that is written up by not only the referee staff but also the coaches, and those go to the board, and they will release fines if necessary. The disciplinary board, if they see that there's faults, they do submit those, and those come with a fine, and those fines must be paid before the next match is played. So we have, we're right now coming up on the 15-minute mark. So they've got about 3 minutes before the referees will have to make a determination of what we're going to do here.
So it'll be an interesting 3 minutes here. Meanwhile, Dalton is on the field, perhaps not so patiently waiting to see what's going to happen. And most of the Kalonji players are on the bench. A little interesting there, but we'll see what happens. I guess we'll keep it here until we have some sort of resolution to what's going on or what will happen. But one thing we do know is that Dalton will be wearing all white. Kalonji in the black. And certainly the referees look like they're in no hurry to take the field, Larry.
Yeah, this is something that is on Kalonji, that, you know, it's their responsibility to have all these pieces in order, and I would suspect that you're gonna see a fine issued for this situation.
And hopefully for our sake and for our viewers' sake, that's all that will be, and we'll get a match tonight. But the referees, they do need an acceptable roster presented to them by a certain time, and that might be the holdup, is a proper roster. We had that issue pop up in Division One a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, definitely. This could result.
So by my watch, we're at 7:44. So we shall see what happens. And again, if you're just joining us, you're watching UPSL Georgia Premier Division Soccer on the Atlantic Soccer Media Group TV channel. John Reno alongside Larry Weaver here, and we're just awaiting for some administration duties here that maybe Kalonji Pro Profile must adhere to before we can maybe get this match underway. The holdup has been, the delay has been, there was a mix-up with who was to wear what this evening, and Dalton wearing their all white. Kalonji was supposed to wear black. They showed up in white. And the solution for now is Kalonji is wearing SSL's jerseys. They're both those clubs are affiliated. They're both under KSA. And we're just awaiting what is going to transpire here. Referees are still at midfield. But this is to be the second match of a doubleheader. First match, if in case you missed it, was a good one. FC Birmingham over SSL FC. With Birmingham picking up their first victory of the season. They got off the schneid today. Thanks to the heady play of one Giancarlo Bustamante. Gets the hat trick today. 3 goals, all headers in the first half. So I think we'll just rest here for a moment and see what transpires. Any significant change we'll be sure to pass along. But for now, we're waiting for a match as well as you all are. And hopefully we'll get one here soon. See a couple more players for Kalonji have kind of come out on the field, but for the most part, they've been on the bench. All Dalton taking advantage of this to get very loose. So we're at 7:47 now.
The one thing I can give you on the updates, UMA Legends. It's still 3-2. They're now in the 108th minute of stoppage, so I think they're just about done with that match. That should be a great result for UMA. They've really done well. They struggled in their first season here in the Premier Division because they basically had to start with academy players until their other, top stars were able to come back from college duties. But they've done a really good job with recruiting, and this spring season, they've done a fantastic job so far.
Yeah, UMA in their first season in the UPSL in the Division One, they stormed through that, running away with the Division One title. And as Larry just said, struggled a bit in their first season in the Premier Division, but they came on late and started to play well. They started to gel together late in the season, and now they've built upon that, and they're back in the mix here.
And really the same for Legends, because Coach Wozniak really needed to recruit for this season, didn't like what he had in the fall. Heavy recruiting in the college circuits down in that LaGrange area and revitalizing that squad. Just haven't got some of the results that he was wanting to see so far. They're in the middle of the table. They want to find their way into the playoffs. They just got knocked out. Well, I should say it was UMA that was knocked out in the final week of the fall season to who became the playoff champions. Atlanta FC were knocked out by 1 point. Legends haven't made it there yet. They want to get there too.
Okay, so what we hoped would be a short delay has turned into a sort of a lengthy one here, as we're approaching 7:50 now. And we're still waiting a word on what is going to go down here. Issue being, in case you haven't heard, Kalonji profiled the home team, submitted to the league that they would be wearing black kits today, and they showed up with white. And the problem is Dalton is also wearing white.
And the thing you got to remember, and Atlanta United just suffered this. If you are deemed a forfeit, you are heavily fined. You lose 3 points. You have to pay for your opponents all of their expenses to get to the match. It is a heavy fine. If I remember right, it's a $1,000 fine for the forfeit now here in the UPSL.
Yeah, a hefty fine as well. So I'm sure Kalonji was, if this is progressing this way, that we might have a forfeit here. That Kalonji will be fighting tooth and nail to get this match played. But the decision will not be theirs. But if it does happen, at least it's on their home field. Dalton, they did have to travel from Dalton, of course, but can you imagine if this happened on Dalton's home field?
Definitely so, and this really comes down to the decision of Coach Kiko with Dalton United. It's his decision if he wants to allow Kalonji time to resolve the situation, or if he wants to simply say, you didn't follow the rule, we are here, you're not ready, and the refs can call it from there.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to look at that. One way is that, well, we came all this way to play soccer, might as well play. Another way is, we got a long drive home. Let's take the win and go home. Let's take the 3 points and go home. So either way would be an acceptable way to look at it.
These Dalton guys had to travel 2.5 hours to get here. So, it's only 8 o'clock, almost 8 o'clock now. It gets you home before midnight, whereas, if we play this match, you're going to make it, 12:30, 1 o'clock, depending on if you stop by Buc-ee's on the way home to Dalton.
Yeah, we are in the suburbs here in Atlanta. Dalton is a pretty hefty drive up Interstate 75, not too far from Chattanooga. So Dalton did come a long way to play this match. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. And I think I see maybe one of the referees might be on the phone. Somebody's on the phone. No, that's not a referee.
Who was the center ref in the first one? This is the fourth official. I'm sure he's on the phone right now with the referee assigner and management of the referees, just verifying what's the rule going to be, and they're making the decision right now if this match is going to happen.
Yeah, because we're at 7:53 now. Now some of the Dalton players have trickled back over to the sidelines. They're kind of looking on, wondering are we going to play or not, guys? Come on. So hopefully a decision will be made here shortly, and the suspense will end. Dalton's, they've been out on the field for a long time warming up. Now they're finally trickling over to the bench, so it's either a sign that maybe well, who knows? Obviously we'll either play or we won't, Larry. And I think everyone here wants to know. And the viewers, appreciate your patience with us. But this is a situation that's certainly not in our control.
And it does look like that UMA Legends game is final, 3-2.
I appreciate the update, Larry.
So if we can't give you this match, we'll at least give you updates around the UPSL Georgia Conference.
So approaching the 8 o'clock hour here, 7:55, still waiting to see if this scheduled for 7:30 match will be played or not.
Can also tell you, John, from MOBA Park, Georgia not at Warhawk, but at MOBA today, Georgia Revolution's Atlanta City FC. It is currently 2-2, about to go to halftime.
Again, that's Larry Weaver on top of all the UPSL action going on. Meanwhile, there's very little action going on here at Shiloh Community Stadium here at Charlie Jordan Field as we are waiting the decision here if we'll have a match or not. Kalonji Pro Profile looking at a possible forfeit for irregular or illegal jerseys. Wrong jerseys were submitted, and they've tried to do a fix here. Now we're just going to see if it'll be accepted or not. But we've been awaiting a long, lengthy conference here, and I guess the referees at present want to make sure.
Yeah, we've gone well over the allotted 15-minute guideline. So at this point, we're just waiting for the final decision.
Yeah, since it's been this long, you would think that they're trying all they can to get this match played, but you know, 15 minutes is the normal rule. If you're not ready to play by 15 minutes after the scheduled start time, then it is considered a forfeit. Or can be, I should say, depending upon what the coach of the offended team decides. But you would think that Dalton would like to go ahead and play. They've come all this way. Of course, you also think they might want to take the 3 points and get home early on a Saturday night.
Yeah, they're back to where we've used to seeing them. They're at the top of the table. This would extend their lead at the top of the table.
Yeah, Dalton, they've just been nothing short of impressive since they've come into the UPSL. They started in Division I as well and ran roughshod over the competition in there. And then everyone wondered, well, how will they do in the Premier Division? And boy, did they show out in that division as well. And they've quickly become, one of the stronger teams here.
Yeah, Dalton United quickly filled up their trophy cabinet with championships in both divisions, playoffs, community cups. So, I mean, they're a powerhouse to be reckoned in the northwest region of the Georgia Conference.
Again, folks, appreciate your patience. Just waiting to see what the final decision will be. Unfortunately, we do not have a man on the field to apprise us of the situation. But it's a minute till 8 o'clock. You would think that maybe they're going to make some sort of decision in the next minute here. But the longer this goes on, the longer you think that this may not happen.
Yeah, the longer this goes, I think we're going to end up seeing a forfeit here for Kalonji.
So this might turn into an early night for all of us here at the Atlantic Soccer Media Group and for Dalton and Kalonji. It would be a shame if this does wind up a forfeit, as, like I said, this is one of the matches we had circled on our schedule as one looking forward to. Well, just heard a whistle. Are they going to line up here?
Getting a coin toss, so it appears we're going to get a match in, John.
All right, so after all this, we're going to play some soccer. A little bit late, but so after a 30-minute delay here, it looks like we're going to get underway shortly. And this should be an official match, too.
Yes, this will make it official. You can see Dalton United, they're moving out of their training tops. They're moving into their full kits. And it doesn't look like we're going to have a walkout or anything. We're just going to go into the match. While this match is going, John, I'll see if I can get a verdict from UPSL management as to what is being done. If this is truly being a full-fledged match being played, or if this is going to be considered just a practice match.
That was going to be a question I was going to propose to you. Any chance of this maybe just turning into a friendly here? Because, as we stated before, Normally the ruling is the team is allotted 15 minutes past the scheduled start. And this went, well, we're over 30 minutes now. But granted, it was just a decision made a moment ago that they are going to play a match here. They're going to play some soccer, but is it official or not? We'll see if we can get the official word. I mean, Dalton is huddled up, so this looks like it's going to be an official match, Larry, I would think.
With the fact that they're not doing an official walkout, that's what has me thinking that this is not official. I think that this is let's just play because we're here. But we shall see here in just a minute.
So looking to get underway here at Charlie Jordan Field. Kalonji Pro Profile taking on the visiting team today. First place, Dalton United FC. We're just about ready to get underway. Wondering still, trying to get word if this will be an official UPSL match or not. There was no walkout, probably due to the delay. And we're trying to see if we can get someone's ear here. But finally, it looks like we're going to get some soccer played. This will be Dalton United in their white. Kalonji Pro Profile in the black jerseys. And we do get a word, this is an official match. So Dalton in the white going left to right on your screen. Kalonji Pro Profile going from right to left. Dalton with the kickoff. So we are officially underway. And there's a long ball down the near side here. Catching up to it is Dalton. Pass the middle is intercepted by Kalonji. And the issue of the delay of this match starting was a jersey mix-up. It was noted that Kalonji would be wearing their black jerseys. They showed up in white, so they're using makeshift black jerseys here, SSL FC's jerseys actually, to play this match. So the numbers that you're used to seeing out there for Kalonji are all different, and we'll keep up with them as best as we can here. But we had about a 30-minute delay. Kalonji sending it long, but Dalton is back there on defense, headed forward. Kalonji player winds up on the pitch, but no call. Play on. Now a little bit of pressure. Now there's a long ball down the sideline. Ahead of the play is Dalton, now in control. Moving into the middle. Dishes it off. And they're going to drop it back to Dimichelis. And he's going to get it back on the near side. And he's going to drop it back to midfield to Rodriguez.
We said this match was going to be exciting. We didn't mean that it was going to be like this.
So we might see a little bit of a lethargic start to this match as well due to the delay. Now Dalton trying to work their way through the Kalonji defense, still in possession. A nice series of passes here by Dalton. Now chip over to the near side, catching up to it in the corner. It's Dalton. Now pass into the box and overstepped on the ball there, maybe tripped up it a little bit. But Dimichelis is there to keep it in. And there's a shot from distance and just wide of the goal. Henri Prietes had to dive for it just to make sure, but the ball goes wide on the right side. And might have gotten a piece of it there, as it looks like we are.
And you see here, Hoitanda with a great strike, making Henry work for it.
So we are going to have a corner. First corner of the match. This is going to be a left-footed swing here. Outside in swing. Very crowded in the six here. And that ball goes over everyone. And Dalton tried to keep it in play but could not, so going to be a throw here for Kalonji. So Kalonji showing some patience now, starting to move up. Now back to Dopma. Dopma sends it on up, past midfield, but sent back in by Dalton. Dopma gets it back. Now they move it quickly back on the far side, now across midfield. Kalonji coming away with it. Now chipped in, now giving chase. Kalonji now. Mendez coming out of the goal. Keeper for Dalton to corral that. As he had Antoine Ferez bearing down on him. Now Dalton trying to break out here. Sends it across midfield. Looking for Alejandro, but couldn't find him. Now he gets it. Now he's looking for help. Dalton will switch up. They are on the far side. Now set into the box. Headed into the box and booted out of play by the defense. So we'll have another corner here for Dalton on the near side. So 7 minutes in. And this important UPSL Georgia Premier Division matchup. UPSL, or Dalton rather, trying to stay at the head of the table here. Corner in, and Pliata is able to get some hands on it and boot it forward. But Dalton takes possession. Now they'll drop back. So Rodriguez at midfield. And trying to come down that far side again is Dalton. And just not able to penetrate the defense there of Kalonji. As they face a sea of black jerseys there, they took it away easily. So as I said, just kind of a sort of a lethargic, slow start to this match, Larry.
Yeah, you really got to feel for the Dalton players. You know, you travel over 2 hours, you get here, you have an extended time of warm-up, and definitely an issue.
All right, so Kalonji made a long play, but it's going to go out, and they're going to get a throw here. So Dalton made a play for it. Now he's going to get to him. He's on the near side. There's Alejandro. Alejandro passes behind, but Doffman able to get to it before the Dalton attacker. And Doffman now goes into the corner. His pass is intercepted. And Dalton, here's a chance for Dalton at the top 18, and what a save by Henri. And they say flag goes up offside. But what a shot and what a save, though. But offside is the call. Pliata now will do the goal kick. Kalonji now they'll work it long. Once more headed forward, but not out. Keeping it in is Kalonji. They get dispossessed now. Dalton trying to do transition, but foul is called. So Dalton probably maybe already in a testy mood. Didn't like that call there. That tempo's blocked by Dalton. Now the ball ends up at midfield. This is getting darker here at Shiloh Community Stadium. 0-0 still is our score here in the early going. And that ball is going to go out a play off of Kalonji. So throw on the far side for Dalton. Can play a little different from what we saw in the first match. And I'm thinking Dalton might be thinking that they maybe should not even be playing right now, that they maybe perhaps should have been awarded the win here due to the jersey mix-up that we had on Kalonji's part. But they did get it sorted out, and they determined it is an official match. So my theory, Larry, is that maybe perhaps the reason for the delay was that Kalonji did get these black jerseys off of SSL, maybe within the 15, and then maybe the referees had to determine if this would be acceptable or not and was waiting a word from the UPSL officials. Perhaps that may explain the extended delay that we had.
Take a look at this opportunity for Kalonji. Sumo with a strike with the left to have to be saved by the keeper. Good work by him.
So we have a corner for Kalonji in the box on the ground and chipped up, and Mendez gets his hands on it. There's a long pass, but it's out. Alejandro could not keep it in play, so it'll be throw for Kalonji. They get it quickly in play. I'll apply a little modicum of pressure here. It's been as I mentioned before, just a slow start to this matchup. Kalonji dispossessed of midfield, but ball down the far side goes out of play. Off of Kalonji and throw for Dalton. Dalton still battling along the far side. Ball out. He'll stay with Dalton. They'll get a throw here deep in the defensive third for Kalonji. Big throw in. Headed forward by Kalonji, and it's going to go back out of play, so we'll do this again.
Dalton United has always been a team that has been very dangerous on deep throw-ins. Keep an eye on this opportunity.
Another throw into the box, headed forward, shot attempt, deflected, headed up in the air, heading out of play, and it does go out of play. So we'll have another corner for Dalton. Their third of the match so far. So this will be a right-footed strike here. In the box, curving in, batted out, and shot attempt sails high and wide. Goal kick for Kalonji. Now the goalkeeper will have to retrieve the ball here. So we're still in the early going. Approaching the 17th minute here in this delayed matchup. First place Dalton United FC visiting Kalonji Pro Profile.
Give you an update, John. It is currently 3-2 in the second half between Georgia Revolution and Atlanta City.
Thank you for the update, Larry. So Dafma on the far side with it. Sends it up midfield now. Trying to get around two men now. Finally dispossessed. Dalton come away with it. But they have to drop it back. Dimichelis here. Nice pass looking for Alejandro. And that's sent ahead by Kalonji. Now in retreat is Dalton. Now they're working, cross it over onto the near far side. There's a long ball attempt. And Henri way out of the net. Way out of the goal to knock that away. And we get a whistle. Foul. Dimichelis lines up it.
John, we have a sensational fireworks display going on behind us.
There's a potential giveaway there, but saved by Dalton. Let's see if things will pick up here. Alejandro with it on the near side. And pressure by Kalonji. A sliding tackle, but play goes on. Long cross was intercepted by Kalonji, but couldn't. Big touch, couldn't keep it in, so throw for Dalton. Kalonji is showing a lot of patience, looking for their spots. Now coming up the field now is Kalonji. He's got a man on the wing, but a weak pass is intercepted by Dalton. Alejandro with it for Dalton. Lines up with Chelius. Now he's going to send it back to the keeper. He's going to either pick it up or dish off to his defense. He likes to do the latter. Dalton not able to break out, but ball goes off KSA. And we'll have a throw for Dalton. Past the 20th minute, no score still. And what has been, as we said, a bit of a slow start here for both teams. I think the lengthy delay may have taken both teams out of their rhythm here a bit, so we'll see when they can get that back. So Mendez sends it right back, and now pressure here by Kalonji. There's a steal by Kalonji, and this dispossessed. Good defensive play by Dalton. to take away that opportunity for Kalonji. Now ball's deflected. Demichelis having to retrieve and get it now. He's going to send it forward. Too far, too hard for Alejandro. All right, so ball back in play. Kalonji finding themselves in a unfamiliar position, pretty far down the table right now. Going into today's action, they were in 9th place. But then again, they've only played 3 matches. And that's what it seems to be. The thing that Kalonji does is they don't. Their schedule's rather light to begin with, and then they have all these games in a bunch later in the season and catch up, because they do have players that have other commitments and whatnot.
And I think last season, John, that really showed them that that's not the way to do it, because they had so many games in those last 2 weeks that they really suffered.
Indeed. It was just a little too much last season. It's worked for them in the past, but I think it did come back to bite them a bit in the fall season. Just spread a little too thin. And as we mentioned pre-broadcast, Kalonji might be without the services of Patrick Okwanko for the rest of the season, as he is playing in the Nissa League with Georgia FC. And they had their first match yesterday with Club de Lyon out of Orlando. And that match ended in a 1-1 draw with yours truly, Patrick Okwanko, scoring. Now here's a chance for Kalonji. Overstepped the ball and gets it back. And Mendez out there to grab the ball before a shot was able to be made, really. So a chance for Kalonji goes by the wayside there. And that could have been Anthony Sumo, just maybe overstepped the ball there.
Again, same thing that happened to SSL, just pushing the ball too far in front of them. You know, and Kalonji is an organization that develops players. You look at Kareem Tamimi being up with Atlanta Twos, Tony Tiente having an opportunity with the Twos being back here with Kalonji, Grant Carr and Henry having opportunities in Germany. You know, this squad of Kalonji have had a lot of opportunity to play at a higher level.
Yes, and they've played together here on Kalonji Pro Profile for a number of seasons. There's a nice shot, and oh my gosh, Mendez able to get a hands on it and deflect it up and off the American field goal. Wow. Nice hard shot there by Kalonji.
Take a look at the replay here. Could have been a foul there at the top of the box. Shot taken, had to get it right, and that was a good one.
All right, so corner here for Kalonji there. First, I believe, and it's immediately booted out by Dalton, so we'll do this again here. So maybe perhaps both teams are starting to find their stride a bit after this long delay we had in getting this show on the road. Now throw in and battling in the corner, and the ball going out. It's going to be goal kick for Dalton. So Mendez initially was telling his players to back up or clear out, but now ball stolen by Kalonji. A little give and go, but Kalonji having to retreat a bit. Now they'll Try and work the near side. And now looking for the corner, but too far and out of play. Zero, still our score here. Past the 27th minute. You're watching UPSL Georgia Premier Division Soccer on the Atlantic Soccer Media Group YouTube channel, ASMG TV. We thank you for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the UPSL Georgia soccer action. Interviews, podcasts as well. Mendez sends it long. 50-50 ball goes over the head of Dothma, hits the turf, but here comes Dalton with a chance. And stymied by the Kalonji defense. And now Dimichelis looks for Alejandro. Alejandro crosses, but it's taken by Kalonji. Now they move it up ahead. Kalonji with a break now, coming down on the far side with a head of steam. Moving into the center. Goes in the box and runs over man and loses the ball. Play on, says the referee. Here comes Dalton the other way. And they cough it up. Kalonji takes over. And it's number 42 on Kalonji, is a number that was not on the adjusted roster we were given, so not sure who that is. And said number 42 with the ball at midfield. Sends over to Camden. Camden going to drop it back now. And it'll be swung over to Dothma. Dothma steps in. The ball kicked out once more, but still in control by Kalonji. Dothma sends it right back. Now they move it over to the near side. Chip in. Dalton's able to catch up to it first. Ella sending up the sideline. And now Alejandro sends it forward, but way too far ahead. And Platy's able to scoop that up quite easily. Dothma, the veteran captain, sends it down. Mendez way out of the goal. Boots it in the grandstands. This will be a throw for KSA. And the referee will back him up. Now we'll get the throw. And it finds the head of a Dalton player and sent forward now, trying to break out, and they do. Now across midfield, there's a race for it. Along the side, and pulled from behind. Foul there, and there's a yellow. So definitely got ahead of the play and pulled from behind, so Kalonji picks up a yellow card.
Nothing that it could be other than a yellow here, Johnny. Take a look at the replay. Good run on that far side, outpaced, and just has to slow him down.
So we have our first flash of yellow on the evening. Goes against the home team. And the free kick, strong in the box, but goes right into the hands of the keeper. Henri Plites. He sends it forward on the near side. Now Kalonji trying to work their way down, and ball goes out. So turnover, so Dalton will throw here for the near side. So just got an update. 42 is Jerome Mzama, and he is out for Grant Carr. So now we know the identity of 42. Now Dalton trying to make their way into Alejandro with it, but he's got a man on him. He drops it back. And Divisione with it. Sends it back. Alejandro with it now. We'll give it a go. Alejandro now moving into the corner. He back heels, passes, and cross in the middle. It's going to be intercepted by the Kalonji defense, but a little too far, so chance for Dalton now. They overstep it. Kalonji trying to come away with it. Now they do. Now they're going to cross midfield here. Sent ahead, but cleared away by the Dalton defense. So approaching the 35th minute here. Starting to get a little late here in the first half. Still no score. In what's been a kind of a bit of a lethargic start to this match. I think both teams kind of thrown off their rhythm by this prolonged delay we had. But things are starting to pick up, it seems. Starting to find their footing again. And into the match now. But no real big scoring chances on either side, really, to speak of. But here's a chance that Sumo, the big man, had it briefly, but it was taken away now. Ball sent out midfield. Dapma with it. He always knows where to go with that ball, doesn't he, Larry? So throw in for KSA. They retreat a bit. Looking for Mzama. And they're just going to reset here and drop it back to Plites. Dapma sends it in long. Onside. Booted way high up in the air by Dalton. Hits the turf. Headed forward. Along the touchline. Dalton able to keep it in. Chalice, number 13 with it. He's dispossessed. Now Mzama gets in on the act. Kalonji comes away with it. Kalonji working their way into the middle now. Now on the near side in the corner. And tried to send it in, but deflected off of Alejandro for a chance for Kalonji now.
That was a good build-up of play there for Dalton United to not get overwhelmed and move that ball out of the back. Ended up for Kalonji to gain possession, but they did really well to not get, excited and allowed that to work its way out. Ended up going out for a corner, though.
All right, so corner kick on the near side. Tiente will be taking this one. Right footer here. In the box it goes. Headed forward by Dalton. Winds up on the foot of Ferez, who's playing for Patrick Okonkwo. And that ball is going to go off the American crossbar. As it was also deflected, so the result another corner here for KSA. In the box, headed up and headed towards the goal by KSA. And ball still playing. Anthony Sumo with it. He goes down. But KSA able to keep it in. Doffma had it briefly. Now he loses it. And now here comes Dalton trying to break out. And now Doffma fighting for it along the sideline. There's a nice tackle there, but I guess they ruled now finally. Perhaps went out of, not sure if there was a foul or if it went out of play there, but nonetheless, it's going to be Dalton's possession here.
Over there on that far side, but great, just the footwork of Dalton is just so impressive tonight.
The run for KSA. Kalonji slowly bringing it up. Doffma draws a couple. He gets it back. Over to Nzama. And it'll go back to the defense, and they'll swing it over back over on the far side to Doffma. Doffma now sends it far ahead, looking for Sumo. And push from behind there, foul on Kalonji. So approaching the 40th minute here, still no score in this match. The way this match is playing out so far, it looks like this could be a low-scoring affair tonight. As both teams are playing very well defensively. Now Alejandro Demichelis. Back to Alejandro. Now Dalton's going to have to switch it up. They go over to the far side now. Pressure by KSA. And foul given. Free kick for Dalton. Past midfield on that far side. But referee says back it up. Let's do this again.
Yeah, John, and Dalton really needs a win to kind of extend where they've been, because with the win tonight, UMA are currently sitting in the top spot. So they need this win to get back up to the top of the table.
And Kalonji need this win as well to climb out of 9th place. Now Dalton trying to work their way in. There's a chip in into the box here, heading towards the far side corner. And nice shielding by Kalonji. Now pass out front and shot is high. So goal kick for KSA. So Pleiades awaits for a ball to be thrown in. Rather go retrieving that one, since it's a long walk on this track. Oh, long pass intercepted by Dalton on the far side. Now weaving his way in into the top of the box, takes a shot. And it's deflected and goes wide on the right side. This will be a goal kick for KSA once more. Dothma with it. Kind of feel like if someone can score here right before the end of the first half, that would be a huge lift for either team. As there really hasn't been any scoring opportunities, significant ones to speak of. It's been a tightly contested match so far. That was a scrum at midfield. KSA trying to come away with it. Deflected out of play. Going to go to throw for KSA. Mzama throws it in. They're going to swing it over to Dothma near midfield. He's got a man coming. Past the 43rd minute. Once more. Dalton was there to take the ball away, but Dothma winds up with it. Oh, heavy touch there for Ferez. He gets it back and loses again. Now KSA will just retreat. They'll send it back to Plietis. Dothma now gets it back. A little bit of pressure for Dalton. There's a long attempt taken by KSA, but once more stripped by Dalton, but it goes out on Dalton. Now KSA, a nice play by Dalton to save that from going out of play. And trying to move ahead and knocked off the ball and down. Good tackle there as Quintero goes down for Dalton. Now play moves over to the far side and goes out, so will be throwing in for KSA. So KSA with a chance here, getting late in the half. And throwing goes right to Dalton player's chest and it's booted up high and out of play, so we'll do this again. Throw in from midfield. There's chip ahead looking for Camden. And ball comes back out, but keeping it is KSA. Camden had it briefly, but was knocked out by Dalton. And Alejandro almost came away with that, but couldn't quite get to it. Now they looked for him again, still couldn't get it to him. And now finally Dalton coming away with it, but a little too heavy, just a little too far. And that is the half. That is the half. So no stoppage time at all to speak of, as we're only just seconds past the 45-minute mark here. But that is the end of the first half here, and what was kind of unusual first half. I think both teams were thrown off by the long delay. At least that's my impression, Larry.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why we don't even have any stoppage, is because of how long we were delayed. And go back to it. I mean, as the rules dictate, it should have been after 15 minutes, they should have called the game. Not quite sure why it was. We'll find out in the aftermath. But as we stand right now, pretty even match and not as explosive and exciting as we were expecting.
No, both teams playing well defensively, though. But 0-0 is our score. And we're going to take a short break. But don't go away, folks. We have the second half coming up. Second half of the doubleheader, the ASMG USPL Georgia Premier Match of the Week. Kalonji Pro Profile hosting first place Dalton United FC. We'll be back after a short break. Don't go away, folks.
Hey coach, is your game going to be live streamed? Can't find a broadcast partner? I have the solution for you. It's time to contact the Atlantic Soccer Media Group. The Atlantic Soccer Media Group will provide you with the most extensive live coverage and affordable rates to bring your club's matches to your fans. So they will never miss any of the action.
Good ball laid off to that far side. Shot ripped. It's in! Dalton United at the death of the game! They go ahead, and this stadium is sent to raptures!
And bring them along with you as you raise the trophy.
Gentlemen, say it with them. They are the champions.
So what are you waiting for the best and easiest coverage, national exposure, attract sponsors, interact with your fans, work with scouts from around the world? Contact the Atlantic Soccer. Hey coach, is your game going to be live streamed? Can't find a broadcast partner? I have the solution for you. It's time to contact the Atlantic Soccer Media Group. The Atlantic Soccer Media Group will provide you with the most extensive live coverage and affordable rates to bring your club's matches to your fans. so they will never miss any of the action.
Good ball laid off to that far side. Shot ripped. It's in! Dalton United at the death of the game! They go ahead, and this stadium is sent to raptures!
And bring them along with you as you raise the trophy.
Gentlemen, say it with them. They are the champions.
So what are you waiting for? For the best and easiest coverage, national exposure, attract sponsors, interact with your fans, work with scouts from around the world? Contact the Atlantic Soccer.
And welcome back, everyone, to UPSL Georgia Premier Division action. Kalonji Pro Profile hosting at first place Dalton United FC. We are knotted up scoreless 0-0 here after 45 minutes of play. And the second half will start soon. Been a kind of a slow start to this match. It was largely because of a lengthy delay that we had, but they got it all sorted out, and we are playing an official match for now. And we are just waiting for the teams to take the field here and get this second half underway. As I said, I think the delay took both teams out of their rhythm, and it got off to a slow start in the beginning, but things finally picked up as we got towards the end of the first half. But both teams playing pretty well defensively, neither team allowing the other any really good scoring chances. But if you just joined us, the reason for the delay is there was a jersey mix-up on the part of Kalonji Pro Profile. They were marked down as having white jerseys. Or, excuse me, they was marked down as having black jerseys. They showed up with white jerseys, and it so happens that Dalton had all white. Their practice and game kits are all white. So it took a while to get it sorted out, but the match did finally get underway about a little after 30 minutes after the scheduled start time. But Kalonji fortunate that they're able to get SSL's jerseys to wear for the match. SSL played the first match of the doubleheader here at Shiloh Community Stadium here at Charlie Jordan Field. They fell to FC Birmingham 4-2. A heartbreaking loss for them. A frustrating loss as well. They missed not one but two penalty kicks and lose 4-2. And hats off to Giancarlo Bustamante for his hat trick. scoring 3 goals off headers, off all corners, and all in the first half as well. So he had a whale of a match. And FC Birmingham pick up their first win this season. So Dalton United. Second win, excuse me. Checking the table here, that's the number 2. But Dalton United looking to stay on top of the table with a victory today. And Kalonji with a game in hand. This is week 5. They've only played 3 matches so far. So they're a little behind a bit, but a win tonight would move them further up to where they're accustomed to being. Just waiting for the huddle to break. So Dalton visiting, they'll be going from, in the white, they'll be going from right to left on your screen. Kalonji pro profile going from left to right. So second half underway. So ball at midfield. Dalton coming away with it. Now Plita is out of the goal. It's going to send over to Dafma. So Kalonji, Larry, having to juggle their roster quite a bit. They are short this week because they are missing 9 out on pro trails. 4 players, including Patrick Okonkwo, we talked about earlier, are out on USL and NSA or NISA trails. And 5 are in Europe. They have 3 players about to sign in Germany. And 2 others will try for a 3rd division team in Romania. So Kalonji pro profile spread a little thin now. But they do have some of their core here tonight. The old veterans, Irvin, Dafma, Tiente, Samuel, Camden, Sumo, former Golden Boot winner Sumo. So they are still definitely a force to be reckoned with. Now Dalton, there's a cross in front. There's a chance, headed and wide of the goal. Chance for Dalton, just wide of the goal there. Just could not get that ball on frame. So first real good scoring chance for Dalton there. And the ball trickles all the way back to the back of the track there. So Henri will have to go back and collect that. So Dafma wearing 40 tonight, not his usual 5. And I'm sure Kalonji's happy about having to wear used jerseys today as well. That
Yeah,
must
I'm
not
sure
be too
that those
fun.
jerseys had a little bit of sweat and stink to them, so I'm sure they're having a wonderful time.
But fortunately, it doesn't look like it's affected their play too badly here. As we're knotted up at 0 here and past the 48th minute. As we said earlier in the first half, the way this is playing out, you got the feeling It's going to be a low-scoring match, so whoever scores first might have the decided advantage moving forward. And there's a trip from behind foul. So free kick for Dalton. So a little too far out here, but definitely can send this ball into the box if they so choose. As Kazuma sends it in, headed out by KSA, but Dalton keeping it in on that near side, or far side rather, excuse me. Now KSA coming away with it, trying to cross midfield and do. There's a chip ahead, but it's going to be too far. And Mendez is going to get to it first. Now Rodriguez with it. Had a man bearing down on him, had to get rid of it. Now they cough it up here. Here's a chance for KSA. Pass in the middle. Still has a chance. Oh, and Dalton able to close in and knock it out. So a giveaway there almost cost Dalton a goal there. Golden opportunity for KSA, but Dalton able to recover.
You see here on the replay, fantastic work by Dalton there just to get a touch on it, clear it out. It's going to be a corner, though.
Corner for KSA coming up. This will be an outside in. Into the box it goes, and Mendez able to get his hands on it. Long pass attempt intercepted by KSA. Dafma with it. And Sumo defending. And Kazuma trying to go around him. Sends it off, but it's taken by KSA. Now coughed up by KSA. Dalton on the far side. Far touch there. Ends up on the feet of KSA. KSA showing in no hurry, showing some good patience here. Looking for an opening, back to Dafma. To Sumo. Sumo crosses, sends it on the far side. Now into the corner. Oh, right at the top of the 18. Shot on goal, and it's going to be way wide. So found an open man, but just not able to get a shot off in time. Had to take a little extra time to get control of that ball. So goal kick for Dalton. So Mendez puts the ball in play. Now Dalton. And we get a whistle. So foul on Dalton. Dafma. Over to Tiente. Tiente gets it back. Draws a bit of a crowd. Out past midfield. And pulled down. It's KSA player, so foul. And it looks like we're going to get a substitution here, Larry, for Dalton.
Number 17 is coming on for Dalton.
That would be Jack Brown. And let's see if we can catch who's going off. So playback underway. Dalton tried to clear it, wound up briefly in front of KSA in the box, but they did get it out. But Daphma has it at midfield. TNT. Ball too long.
Number 16 was who was replaced.
So it'll be Alejandro who goes out. Pedro Alejandro. Out for Dalton. Jack Brown in. Daphma giving chase by Jack Brown, who just came on. So the second half kind of going along the same lines as the first here. KSA really slowing down things here, looking for openings. But once they get in, Dalton's able to turn them away. And likewise by the KSA defense. Hence our score is 0-0 still as we are past the 55th minute. So Daphma throw in for KSA. Long pass it along the sideline, the near side. That's Luoma. Joseph Luoma had it, but losing it now. Dalton trying to break out. They'll retreat now. Mendez swings it over to Chelis now. Here's a long one on the far side. And tripped up. Nice takeaway by KSA. No foul. And nice play by KSA to keep possession of the ball. Now here comes KSA. Into the box. Switches foot. Takes a shot. Not able to get a hard shot off. And good positioning by Mendez. So opportunity for KSA. Dalton's keeper, Mendez, up to the task. Able to turn him away once more. Dalton chipping it in. And KSA goes back to retreat now. And no real pressure by Dalton here. They're letting Kalonji to set up in the back here. There's a long pass attempt broken up by Kazuma. He sends it forward. Now Dimichelis sends it in. No one there for KSA. Or excuse me, no one there for Dalton. KSA catches up to it. Sumo battling along the sideline. Now they call foul. That's Kazuma being a little too handsy there. Gets the whistle. TNT sends it to the far side. That ball comes back to midfield. We'll give and go. Touch pass there. KSA still on the ball, but it gets deflected past midfield. Once KSA will retreat, but they send it right back in. Daphma now with it at midfield. He sends it forward. Looking for Leoma. And he grabs his man, twirls him around. He goes down. He gets called for the foul. So Dalton will free kick it here in the defensive third. Strong boot, 50-50 ball. Winds up on the turf. Dalton trying to come away with it. Now they have it being chased. Now it's off on the near side. That's Kazuma with it, but he's got 2 men on him, not able to get around him. Dothma was there. And now, penalty called. Now Sumo didn't like that call, but it was Sumo and Dothma defending. Now Kazuma with a free kick here on the near side. Chance for Dalton. As we're about to cross the 60th minute, still looking for our first goal of the evening. Will it be Dalton? And can it be here on this sequence? Kazuma gets to go ahead. Ball in and punched out nicely by Pleitez, but kept in by Dalton and booted up in the air and out by Kalonji. And now having to retreat is Dalton, but Mendez sends it right back. But finds Leoma for KSA. Now KSA trying to build a tackle once more. Sumo has it. Cross in the middle. Finds the foot of KSA. Chip in the box, and there's a header and a goal! KSA, Kalonji Pro Profile. Light up the scoreboard here first. 1-0 is the score. Beautiful sequence, Larry. And we get a header goal.
Take a look at this again on the highlight. You see this ball gets brought back into the box, headed right in there. The keeper just flat-footed. Nothing he could do. 1-0.
And that is in the 61st minute there. So Kalonji, first team to break through here. Took 61 minutes, but they got the lead now, 1-0. So we'll see if Dalton has the answer in him. We'll see if they start to press a little bit more here on Kalonji. But you don't want to be too aggressive because you don't want to give more chances to Kalonji on the back end. But Kazuma now. Heavy touch, but he gets it over his man. He gets it over Sumo. And comes in and foul from behind. And is Sumo going to pick up a yellow card here? Yeah, he does. So the big man gets a yellow. So second yellow on Kalonji as Kazuma is breaking free. And just a hard challenge from behind. So free kick for Dalton, about 12 yards or so from the box. More like 15 yards or so. So chance for Dalton. So Kazuma's looking at 3-man wall here if he takes it. And he does. And a shot in, and oh! Pleitez was able to go, oh, and the rebound, it goes in the goal. Was it onside? I think Kalonji is saying that it went off the American crossbar, but I don't think so. I think it hit the top bar of the goal. But Pleitez got his hands on it, and I think it hit the top bar, Larry, and not the American goal.
We'll take a look at the replay. Great strike. That went right off the regular crossbar that did not go off the American football crossbar. That's a legitimate, that should be 1-1.
So beautiful strike by Kazuma. It went off the crossbar, and then able to pick up on the rebound is Dalton. And Kalonji still saying that was off the red crossbar. Now Bletes runs all the way over now. He better be careful. I mean, our replay showed that it definitely went off the soccer goal. But now it looks like the referee is going to do a conference with the AR here. But it certainly looked like it did not go off the American field goal at all. It looked good.
No, not at all. That did not go off. That looked like that was clearly off of it. We'll see what they decide here, and then we can watch it yet again. The referees need to not allow these players to try to dictate and try to force their way through a decision.
So, controversy before the match, and now a little bit of controversy now, as the referees will have another issue to sort out here.
I see a red card in the hands of the center official.
Well, surely that would be for dissent. But who would it be on? We saw the goalkeeper, Bletes, charging and scoring up to official, so if there is a red card being issued, perhaps on him, that would not be good if Kalonji were to lose the keeper and go a man down and have the goal stand up.
Indeed, a red card has been issued. 49 of Kalonji is who has received the red card.
Okay, that would be Jallo gets the red card. So that was in a crowd on the far side. So, an interesting turn of events here. Kalonji just hurting themselves here. If they can see the goal and receive a red card and go down a man, you would think that would give a decided advantage to Dalton the rest of the way here.
And that free kick came from a foul issued by Anthony Sumo that was silly to do in the end. He just kind of barreled through the player.
So just an unfortunate sequence of events here for Kalonji. And so not only do they concede a goal, they're going to lose a man here, as Jallo is issued a red card. And we're going to have Kalonji play a man short the rest of the way. And Dalton has tied this match up. So we're having our first lengthy delay of the match here. Kalonji still, they need to be careful. They need to get their heads back together and not let their emotions get the best of them. So it is a goal. 1-1 was our score. And now Kalonji will be down a man. Let's see if Dalton can take advantage of this situation. But KSA, nonetheless, notwithstanding, on the attack. But not able to get around two men, and Kazuma's there. But he comes away with his KSA. And, oh, changes foot. Nice shot on goal. So if there's any question if KSA can, how they might play with the man down, there you go right there. Nice opportunity for KSA. Now here comes Dalton. So after what's been a lackadaisical feel to this match, things have really spiced up now, Larry.
Definitely so. And the way that it's standing right now, if this ends in a draw, Dalton United, who are playing under protest, they would drop to third, and UMA would be at the top of the table.
So the game is officially being played under protest now?
I did get that just a few minutes ago, that Dalton are protesting that this game is being played, as it started 30 minutes late.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see the outcome of that. But Dalton, they do find themselves knotted up at 1 here. Daphma with it. Sends it over to Oma. They'll go back the other way now, Dalton. Or excuse me, KSA looking to come to the field here, but they'll slow it down. Daphma. All right, sending it long, but it's going to be cleared, and it's going to go off the KSA player. So throw in here for, or it looked to be off KSA player. It looks like, and he's down as well. But KSA is holding the ball, so. And we have a sub coming in, Larry, for Dalton. See if we can pick out those numbers.
Number 6 came on for Dalton.
Okay, that would be Sakai. And we see who went out. So it's KSA with the throw. I thought it went off KSA, but they get a throw in the box. Headed up in the air. KSA in control in the box, trying to put it towards the net, headed and finally out by Dalton. KSA still with it.
Number 13 is who came off. I believe that's Dalton.
Yeah, that would be Demechelis going out for Dalton. So Daphma with it. So once more, KSA in no hurry to move this ball up. Being down a man now, they have to be careful and really pick their spots now. Sent long for Sumo, but over his head. Dalton trying to clear, intercepted by Leoma, and it goes out. So it'll be thrown here for KSA. We're in past the 72nd minute, approaching the 73rd minute. All tied up at 1 now. After 60-plus minutes of scoreless soccer, KSA finally broke it open, but only just a couple minutes later off of a free kick. Sequence. Dalton able to tie it up. And now pass a little too long there for Sumo. So it'll be throw for Dalton. And on that goal by Dalton, KSA thought it went off the American crossbar, but even from our vantage point, that did not look like the case, and the replay confirmed it. It was definitely off the soccer top bar, and they scored on the rebound, tying this match up. But during their protest, Jallo, number 49 for KSA, issued the red card. And that's where we are right now. You're watching UPSL Georgia Premier Division action on the Atlantic Soccer Media Group TV channel, YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss all the action of the spring 2024 season. We're in week 5. We got plenty of more weeks of soccer action coming your way, and you don't want to miss a thing. There's a bit of a collision here. And now, oh, that was Jack Brown trying to catch up to it. And it's got to play off of KSA, so he's going to get a throw here. And he'll hand it off to Kazuma. Kazuma will send it in. Kazuma Ishizuka with that tremendous kick off of the foul that led to the goal. Throws it in. And he has it on the near side. Sliding down now, working his way, trying to work his way inside the 18. And it loses control and goes out of play. And goal kick for KSA. So it's starting to get late in the evening as we're past the 76th minute here at Charlie Jordan Field and Shiloh Stadium in Snellville, Georgia. It's been a pleasant evening, been a pleasant afternoon as well. Second match of our doubleheader, the ASMG match of the week. First place Dalton United, visiting Kalonji Pro Profile. Now Dalton with a chance, and that shot's going to go high and wide. Way off the mark there. It looks like we might be getting another substitution, Larry.
This time number 10 is going to be coming on.
So that would be Frank Herrera. And we'll see who he comes in for.
Looks like number 8 is who came off.
Number 8. Maybe 18. That would be Essen, but we don't have a number 8 for Dalton's roster. All right, so we're going to get a throw here for KSA, and a little too early. AR wants to back up the throw here, so Doffman will back up about 5 yards from midfield. And now we had an errant soccer ball that makes its way over to the sideline. Now we can throw in. And Sumo with it. Trying to work his way around his man. And foul's called. Doffma wants to get this ball into play quickly. Playing down a man. Now he's going to move up the field here. So Kalonji looking to break this tie, send it into the box. Batted up in the air. And kicked and cleared by Dalton. So we throw in the defensive third for for KSA. Time is ticking away here.
Kalonji making a substitution, but I am unable to tell you who it is with all the changes in the roster.
Yeah, a little bit of confusing there with the complete overhaul of roster numbers for. Now we have a bit of confusion here.
Yeah, that one's going to be called offsides because Sumo was in an offside position as that ball came in, and he touched it last. So that is going to be a disallowed goal as that was an offsides.
So Dalton just making the call. Just awkward look there, but the ball trickled in, but it's not a goal. Daphma with it. Pushes it forward, up in the air, headed up in the air by Dalton. And Kazuma now gets it over to Jack Brown, and Kazuma gets it back, and hard challenge by Daphma. Good challenge by Daphma. Clears it. Throw in for Dalton. Knotted up at 1. Dalton with a man advantage here. And now here comes Kazuma again. Going to take this free kick into the box and headed towards the goal. But Pleates was right there. Good positioning. Now he boots it long, 50-50 ball. Chipped forward and headed out of play by Dalton, so throw for KSA. So KSA down a man, certainly not playing like it. And Dalton not able to take advantage of the advantage as of yet. But with time winding down, this next goal you think would be, whoever scores it would be huge. And would stand a good chance of being the game winner the way this match has been playing out. We got a foul on Dalton. Now here's KSA with a chance. Shot, and that's going to go wide of the goal on the far side. That's Yoma catching up to it. Send it just wide.
It's a good ball up front for Kalonji. On this right side, near side, he takes a shot, and it's just way off the mark.
So goal kick for Dalton. They're going to send it deep. KSA is there. A little battle along the far side. And coming away with is Dalton. In the far corner and kept in. That ball's still in play. And sent in the box, and Daphma able to get ahead on it. And kept in play by KSA. Oh, there's a pass is intercepted. Here's Kazuma with it now. Could not get around his man. And we get a foul. So we are past the 83rd minute. 1-1 is our score. KSA playing a man down. There's a long attempt for Leoma, but couldn't catch up to it. A pass ahead of Kazuma there. Goes to KSA. John,
This is something we're seeing far too often. Dalton is up a man, but you could not tell it by the way that the play is right now.
No, it looks like we've been playing, even 11 on both sides. Dalton not able to take advantage. Now Loma giving chase, can't quite catch up to it. It's intercepted by, there's a shot, and just wide on the near side. So KSA looking no worse for wear. Haven't really given Dalton anything since that last goal and when they received the red card. So just a testament to their experience and veteran players that they have on the team. Because we've seen them play down, a man down before and play well in the past. Dafma with it. And KSA, to their credit, they are trying to move the ball up and they're trying to score. They want to get a win here. They want to move up the table. They're not going to be happy with the draw. Dafma with the steal. Moves around his man. He's got Sumo. But nice play by Ramirez. Now Dalton with a chance. A touch a little too far. KSA comes up with it. Dafma at midfield. And trip from behind, foul on Dalton. Approaching the 86th minute. We had literally next to no stoppage time in the first half. We might have a little this half due to the bit of controversy we had around that Dalton's goal. Took him a little bit to sort it out. And they chewed the red card and everything else. So I expect we should have a few minutes of stoppage. And Mendez having to come out and grab that out of harm's way. Now Mendez going to send this one long. 50-50 ball headed up by Dafma. But ends up at the feet of Dalton. Well, they swing it over to the far side. Dalton trying to work their way in. Now on the far side, into the box it goes. And the ball just goes wide of the goal. Prietas came out, but it just eluded him and trickled wide of the goal.
You watch this replay, John, and this is a great opportunity for Dalton. Got the ball on the far side, working the line, whipped in, just not able to get onto it, and Henry's lucky.
So close call for KSA, and we stay tied as we're approaching the 88th minute. Will someone be able to find the back of the goal here? And steal a victory here. Snellville now on the near side. Cross ahead, headed out by Dalton. Dalton just had not been able to really take advantage of being up a man, as KSA has defended them very well, except for that sequence of play just moments ago that just went wide of the goal. And Dalton Gives it away. There's a shot, and it's going to go high. And no, he would have liked to have that one back. But the game being officially played under protest by Dalton. Match started late, over 30 minutes late.
Yeah, we'll see how much stoppage we hit with the last minute starting now.
If we get an indication of how much stoppage time, we'll pass it along. Doffma heads it up in the air. Dalton coming away with it. Challenged by Doffma. KSA comes away with it. They got numbers coming down. Moves it ahead in the middle. That's Sumo. Sumo tried to chip it. KSA still has it, though. And the shot is deflected basically at the point of origin. It goes right to Mendez, and he pushes it up quickly to Kazuma, number 7. He's at midfield. Sends it to an oncoming Dalton player now. They drop it off on the far side. Trying to work their way into the box. It goes. There's a header, and wide of the goal. And so we should be in stoppage now. Referee checks his watch. Didn't see an indication. So not sure how much time we have here. And that's it.
Say, there's your answer right there, John.
Yeah.
That is it.
So once again, no stoppage time. So the game will end at a tie here. So the referee elects to not add on the minutes for the delay that we had after Dalton's goal. And we end up in a tie here. 1-1 is our final score. So we'll see what the fallout is over the protest.
Yeah, we look at the fixtures, John. You look that this week, this is where we stand. FC Atlanta and Potros FC 1-1. Atlanta United with that massive win, 6-1 over North Georgia. SSL losing to Birmingham. UMA winning at Legends. That pushes them to the table. We'll show you here in a second. Georgia Revolution beating Atlanta City and this 1-1 draw. So the way that stands with that, you look at the leaderboard, UMAFC now at the top of the table.
For now.
For now. We'll see what happens with. There we go. UMSC at the top of the table. Potros FC in second. Dalton in third. All with 10 points. Goal differential is the difference. Atlanta City, Legends, Georgia Athletic, they're all with 7 points. FC Birmingham and SSL with 6 points. Kalonji out of the playoffs. Atlanta United, now they're out of the bottom 2, but that puts FC Atlanta down in the bottom 2 in the relegation zone. So really just wholesale changes in the table this weekend.
Yes, Kalonji picking up a point but losing ground in the standings.
And you look at next week's numbers. Next week, Saturday, Atlanta United welcomes Atlanta City. Dalton welcomes UMA. FC Birmingham welcoming Kalonji. That's going to be a massive result that Kalonji needs to get some points, and they need them fast. Legends FC welcomes Georgia Revolution. They need to get a few more points. Potros FC with North Georgia United. I'm really, really afraid right now for North Georgia United. They are not looking good. They need to get a couple points and survive. They just need to survive for the rest of the season. And Georgia Athletic taking on FC Atlanta. So we got a lot of interesting matches coming up in the next couple days.
Yeah, a slew of good matches ahead for next week. But that will do it for our doubleheader, last of our doubleheader tonight. And we thank you for joining us. Once again, my name is John Reno alongside Larry Weaver. You've been watching UPSL Georgia Premier Division Soccer on the Atlantic Soccer Media Group TV YouTube channel. Once again, our final 1-1 draw, Kalonji Pro Profile and Dalton United FC tied at 1. That's our match for the evening. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on the pitch.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.